Alrighty, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Once again, Happy New Year. Ladies, I know it's the second week. Welcome in the second week of the New Year's time. I am grateful to be here because today I would like to talk to you about really something what probably January will be all about. This is the most frequently asked question during second half of January. How to not quit, how to succeed, how to persevere and accomplish or stay with whatever goals, accomplishment, challenges you decided to do. There is an around 70-80% of population who set up their challenges and resolutions on January 1st, and they start dropping out around week 3 and 4, which is and second part of January. So now we are entering second week where after the first week, right, we are all empowered because we managed to check out every single task we set up for ourselves. We won, we are accomplished, we are proud of ourselves. Yes, we are ready for the week number 2. And don't take me wrong, I'm not saying this in the negative aspect. I'm saying this from the experience of my own and working with over 300 clients of mine, online and offline, but also just to prepare you for something that may come, because it's always good to know that those things may come and it is okay when they come because you are prepared, you are going to persevere. And then I'm going to share with you 3, maybe 4 tips, depending how long our video will be, about how to actually not quit. So second week will be the week when there might be some slips. There might be some moments when things won't get checked out on our list of things to do. There will be something that will come into life, or there will be something that we maybe forgot that we have committed to maybe every month to do it or bi-monthly, but we didn't think about this when we were setting up our goals. For example, maybe monthly meeting at the work, which usually gets extended, and you stay after time, and you may not have that evening moment to go and do workout, but you set up yourself for that day that you will go to get workout. So suddenly something may not get done. And this can happen. And then in third week, fourth week, as we are winding down and away from those, high-powered, energized, Christmassy holidays type of mood and thinking that we can accomplish everything and anything in any time, we are winding down now to life, to our life. And there is nothing wrong about this because life is moving forward. We are still living. So what happens is that many of us, we set up our goals and challenges and resolutions in this high vibe energy where we think that we can do anything. We believe we can do anything, which is beautiful. We also know what we want to change in our life and we are committed to do it. But during that time, many times, and many of us are forgetting about that there is a second layer. Let's say, imagine you have a calendar and you wrote down your resolutions, spread them around for January when you will be doing what, you had it. But you forgot that there is a second calendar that should go on it and cover it, not cover it, but kind of go through it and kind of blend together, interpolating the stuff that are on one calendar on the another calendar. So now you see, and that second calendar is your life calendar, is your life things that are happening, that were happening in December, that were happening in September, that were happening earlier before you set up all those goals. But in that hyped, vibes, we forget about this because we really want to change suddenly everything in our life. And nothing wrong about changing, because I always admire people who wants to change something in their life, because this is how we grow, this is how we expand, this is how we change our circumstances. But what is wrong and what doesn't work really is when we do that like in the freaking, how to say that, in the wholesale system, meaning everything at once in the same moment. And that may not work. That usually doesn't work for most of us. So it's important that before you, and that's my first tip, before you actually set up your commitments, I would suggest to write them down on the side, what you want to do and how many times a week. But then have your calendar with your actual live activities, meaning picking up the kids, meeting at the companies, right? Meeting your parents, maybe family dinners once a month, maybe maybe your class, maybe your school every Saturday, whatever that is, you want to put those things first. And then when you have your challenges and resolutions and habits you want to create on the separate page, now you are, if you have more than three, I would suggest you to prioritize it, to focus on the first three that are more important for you, that are really crucial, that are meaningful. And we will talk more about this at the webinar. I'm going to tell you a little more details about this later. And then use these and see where you could put. If you have space for the fourth item, yeah, but be really realistic. I really invite you to be, yes, empowered, motivated, inspired, driven, believing in yourself, but also realistic. Realism doesn't kill any of this. Be realistic in a way, yes, I want to accomplish this thing. So let me start with three things right now and see how my first 2 weeks or 3 weeks are going with all this other stuff that are called my life. And that's really important, to make sure that those two layers of your life, your willingness to change so many things in life, but your actual life, are really, really filtered through and covered, and they are having their place. Actually, I don't have water. Place in your calendar, in one calendar. Make sure that those things are on one thing. Later on, you can, put them separately. I used to have several journals, and then I was missing on things because something was in that journal. I knew it is there, but then I didn't really put these things together, and suddenly there were things that were double booked or things that were skipped because I forgot or didn't put them on this calendar, and I was looking throughout the day on this calendar and I forgot about that one, and da 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 yada yada. So that's one thing. Second thing is what I just said also, and now kind of going into that deeper. Start small. I mean, I cannot express that more. And I think I'm expressing this a lot and emphasizing because this aspect changed my life for the last 2 years. I am a perfectionist. I was always a heavy organizer. I was heavy accomplisher, overachiever, and I was a person who could set up 17 things to do in a day. And those were not 70 things such as I don't know even what, like small things that you could do within 2 minutes. Those were actual items and things to do, which would require at least 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour or 1 hour commitment. And on top of that job, on top of that, other activities. And of course, I was failing after failure after failure. So small things are really, really important. It is so much power in them, and they are very crucial in accomplishing something bigger. So start small. I cannot emphasize that more. When I'm setting up goals with my clients and they coming with me with this very, very ambitious plan, I am not diminishing that plan. I am not telling them that this plan cannot be accomplished at all. I'm just trying to tell them and set up with them small action steps towards finalizing that ambitious plan eventually. So if someone is and again, I mentioned that last week, and today's little extension of that, and also introduction to the webinar that is upcoming. We talk a little bit about this. So for example, fitness, because I know many of you resonate with that. We all start with 5-7 times a week. We want to work out. But then we can see that our life calendar is really not going to allow us to do that. So instead of setting yourself up for a failure, because after the second week you won't accomplish 7 times a week working out, start with 3 times a week. 3 times a week, and then keep continuing it. If you can keep 3 times a week for a month, and then see that you have space for the fourth time, do so. Add for the next month, like February, another day. If you see that you still can do it, add again, but be again realistic and honest with yourself. Honest with yourself, because if you add fourth time and you already see that your schedule is busy, or you are compromising your rest, sleep, and energy level, then there is really nothing beneficial in such workout when you are deprived of your energy. It's like trying to do something good but compromising something better. It's just not working. Like for example, when people are compromising their sleep in order to get something done. Like, yes, I personally also, I am very committed to my morning routine, but it's not waking up earlier in my time. It's sleeping enough and then waking up. So I'm planning my day later on rather than waking up earlier, because I need my sleep, and my sleep is one of my priority as self-care routine. This is one of my challenge. This is one of my resolution. This is one of my habit I want to create for this year, and I'm creating since last year, to sleep enough. So why should I be cutting my sleep if that's one of my habits to create, right? It's like, yeah, if like you have two tools, let's say 2 habits, you want to meditate and work out. So imagine now you are not meditating because you need to work out. You're cutting out one of the habits you wanted to create in order to do second. So if those things are happening, again, be honest with yourself. How can you change things around? How can you change the schedule slightly? How can you maybe do 3 times of meditation and 3 times of working out instead of 6 and 6, right? And then be every morning struggling what to choose from, and then be upset with yourself because you haven't done full meditation, but then also your workout was really not good enough, and da. And again, you are just beating yourself up instead of feeling accomplished and like a winner. So small things, be honest with yourself. And again, look at that schedule of yours, life schedule and habits, challenges schedule. And the third one is celebrate every single thing. When I say every single thing, I don't underestimate that word. I am literally saying every single thing. The smallest, the tiniest thing you accomplish, you need to celebrate. You really need to celebrate. This is another crucial thing, to not sleep and quit. Why? Because it is reinforcing and reprogramming your mindset toward accomplishment rather than telling yourself again for the fourth, seventh, 10th time, you see, you still didn't accomplish it. You see, you still suck. You see, you didn't do that challenge fully last year. You didn't do this challenge this year. You really suck. You shouldn't be even trying. There are all these messages that your brain will tell you. But if you start other way around, and if that's the case for you, and that was the case for the last few years, I mean, come on, you don't lose anything, but try a new approach. You may not gain anything. So in the worst case scenario, you will be at the same spot you were last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or you may gain a lot because maybe for the first time you will break through and create something new, something way more powerful than you've tried for the last years because you always failed at some challenge. So celebrate. And celebration, when I say, and that word is really big word because people think that not suddenly now I need to take the half a day off. No, I would rather say tap yourself on the shoulder. That's it. Tap yourself on the shoulder. Literally pause and say, you know what? I did it. Cool. 30 minutes workout. I got it. I feel good. Yes. I got it. That's it. That's it. You don't really need to take half a day off. You don't need to buy yourself flowers. If you want, go for it. But I know many of us, that would be another task on the list. We don't want to add extra stuff into your another things that are important for you. We want to just make those things you are already committing to be more fulfilling, feel like an accomplishment, inspiring, motivating you for next day, for another week. So that way you keep doing it and going after your goals instead of quitting. And the fourth, it's really not a tip, but more like inspirational and kind of suggestion, maybe a little bit of my own experience, like kind of quote, which is not quote. It is basically inspiration is remember, if you sleep once, if you don't check out that box once, nothing happened. Move on next day to doing what you are doing. It is past, it is a day that was yesterday, and that day doesn't need to define your next day. And to give you a more dramatic outlook of it, think about this. How many times you, possibly you, or maybe someone you know, quit doing that 21-day challenge or 2 months challenge or resolution or chasing after that goal because of one or two slips? And how many people, once they slipped, they quit and they didn't come back to it next month? They didn't come back to it in 2 months. They were waiting for what? For next new year. I mean, that's entire freaking year. That's entire freaking year. You are waiting to restart again. I'm like, because of one sleep, because of two problems or two rest days. I mean, oh my gosh, you just cannot do that to yourself. I'm like, I wish I could say that more often, but don't do that to yourself because your life is slipping in between your fingers. And because of that one thing you didn't accomplish, giving up your entire beautiful challenge or resolution and say, no, I suck. I'll start next year. And next year you will do the same because maybe you didn't learn from the last year. And about evaluating your previous years, we will talk on the webinar as well. So that's very important. So I wanted to finish up this short video about this. I shared with you 4 tips, actually 3 tips and 1 motivation. The first one is remember to plan your resolutions, challenges, creating habits, anything you want to change in your life and commit to with your life calendar, meaning the calendar that consists of your actual day-to-day activities, weekly, monthly commitments, and everything else that exists in your life already. Right? The second thing is start small, move small, do small steps, inch by inch, step by step. These things made so many successful people successful today because this how they started, and this how you will also reinforce your brain onto the successful and accomplishing path. And the third one is celebrate, or simply tap yourself on the shoulder when you accomplish that task and that task and another task, and when you check out those boxes. But when you don't check out those boxes, acknowledge yourself, acknowledge yourself as well, and give yourself a lot of compassion, love, and also motivation that this is the day and that day is now past. I will do it and show up for myself again tomorrow. Because remember, my last tip is remember, you cannot allow one slip, one break, one fall off the wagon to determine your and define your next day, next weeks, and the year. You cannot allow that one slip to make you give up on yourself for the entire year. So now to finish up, I want to invite you, ladies, to the webinar. The webinar will take place on Monday at 6 p.m. on Monday, 25th 5th January, in 2 weeks, literally in 2 weeks from now. And the webinar will be literally almost about the same what we talk about how not to quit, how not to give up, how to keep moving with your New Year's resolutions, with your goals, with your creating new habits, and any type of the commitment you committed yourself to, and or challenge yourself to do. And that will be, we will talk about what we talk about in more details, those 3 tips, but there will be more tips. And there will be another big part about evaluating your previous years so that we can learn that lesson and bring it into the New Year's challenge setup or resolutions setup. And there will be worksheet, so which you can print out. So it will be an actual webinar, an actual workshop where we will be doing things, working on things, when there will be constant interaction and constant questions. Everything will happen here in our space. And for you ladies, in Heart and Body Practice group is for free, and it will be for free for the entire week from Monday till Sunday. And then after that, the webinar will be taken out from the group and transferred to my online shop for every one of you to purchase it and have it for the rest of your life. Once you purchase it, you will receive the downloadable link to get your webinar and your worksheet too. So, and then once the webinar is in the shop, obviously it will be accessible for anybody, not only Heart and Body Practice members. But for you, this is something special and exclusive, and I would like to do this type of things every other month this year. So we are facing to have 6 webinars this year. I really am committed to teaching this year more than I was before. It will be more teaching, more tips, more helping you rather than just motivating you, inspiring. Yes, I understand my stories, inspirational stories are important too, and they will still be around in social media, my social media and all platforms, but there will be way more teaching. And I would like this group to be already a platform where that teachings or those teachings will take place exclusively first, and later on, of course, expanded into some possible digital courses and live courses. But about that, I will be updating you. You are my priority, and you will be the first one usually to know about those things, my Heart and Body Practice ladies. So thank you so much for that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. You stay committed, stay motivated, and stay compassionate with you. Revisit this video once again and then see what you can apply or maybe re-evaluate or reset up again for yourself to stay committed to whatever you set up yourself for. All of your resolutions, all of your challenges are important. They are important for you, and I really honor them, and I really wish you all the best. And if you have any questions related to this topic, or you're struggling with, let me know. You know where to find me. Thank you so much. I love you all. See you next time.